a little chilly.
Look at me. I'm fancy hiker.
Oh my gosh.
Off to the woods we go.
Hey guys.
How you doing? We just got a new camera.
The quality does look much nicer. So a lot of you guys have been saying that we need a better camera, we need better quality, better sound. So hopefully this provides all of that.
Yeah, and there's no wind today, so we're really hoping this is going to be a good investment for the future too. It's actually really nice out today too. We are at Doeskin Ranch Trails, Balcones, Canyonlands, NWR, which stands for something, but I don't remember what it stands for right now. This place is really cool. We've come out here a couple times to go hiking. It's super close to our house, and there's no one here today. I mean, there's a couple cars, but I mean, you rarely run into anybody out there. It's really cool. We're gonna do some hiking, and we have really cool news for you guys today, hopefully, so that'll be a lot of fun. I keep telling Shay I need to get some convertible pants for brush like this, but she doesn't agree with that statement. She thinks convertible pants are for... What are your thoughts on convertible pants?
I told him I'd get him man leggings and he said no. My thought on convertible pants is... I don't know. I just remember in like junior high and middle school, guys would wear them and they'd wear like one zipped, one down, and it was just with like this silky flame shirts, which I know you have because I've seen the picture. I don't know. I guess I just can't get past that. For practical use.
Yeah, flame shirts.
Yes, you did. And a Playboy medallion. Yeah.
That was me. In the summer, this is all green and grown over, so it's really hard to get through here. But it's actually pretty cool in the winter.
It's dead.
Just keep walking, it looks cool.
How's that cool?
So yeah, we're just taking a break from the trail because we just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about some stuff. Basically, ever since Colorado didn't work out about a year ago, we've kind of just been figuring out what we wanted to do and how we wanted to make our next plan of action from there, or if we just wanted to keep things as they were. And so we've been doing research for about a year, and we really come up with a solution now, which is kind of transferred over the last year as far as what we wanted to do. And so I think we've come to our conclusion as the route we want to take.
You guys know that we're always going on adventures. We're always looking for the next thing. Colorado didn't work out. So we've decided to buy an Airstream and live out of it.
So here's kind of the progression on that. Originally we were like, okay, cool, let's just get an RV and we'll get like a Class A or something, and we can tow our rigs and we'll live out of that, and we'll find a place to park and just kind of go from there. We weren't going to be completely nomads because we do want to keep our jobs and continue working. But
so we thought we needed something a little bit bigger, more home-like.
So we wanted to do something like that so that we can travel on the weekends and kind of just enjoy that freedom and pay a little bit less, because we're tired of paying for our big house that we're not a big house, but you know,
big for us.
A 3-bedroom house is too much for us just because we don't use the bedrooms. And essentially this is what happened. We looked around our house. We were like, okay, do we want to keep buying things just to fill up rooms that we don't use? What is our point with this? What are we trying to achieve from this? Obviously it was great to have, and it's nice to have the room and the yard and stuff, but we felt like we were just spending money on things that we didn't really even use, and that's kind of what progressed us to where we started thinking about getting something smaller.
Minimizing our lives and prioritizing what's most important to us, and having a big house that we don't even use 80% of. It's not important to us. And
it's not a huge house, like I said, it's like 2,300 square feet, which is still pretty big, but that's not the point. The point is we were looking at getting a smaller house on some land, and then we're like, okay, well cool, what if we want to move around a bit? So that's what led us to that. So we started going out to dealerships, we started looking at some Class A's, and we really started to figure out what size we wanted. And originally I think we were looking at what, like 30? Originally
I think we were looking at like 35.
Yeah, and 34, 35 was our sweet spot.
And then we found a Fleetwood Bounder 33C, and we fell in love with it. It was awesome, it was small.
Yeah, we were really set on that one.
And you'll see, we kept journals of all of these videos over the last like 8 to 9 months. So he'll start spitting those out so you can see our progression on what ultimately led us to buy an Airstream.
Yep. So from there we we really set on that. We were looking at the Bounder 33C, and I was like, Shay, let's go look at the Airstreams, because we'd already looked at the Winnebagos. We basically picked up those two brands. We were like, Winnebago or Fleetwood, that was what we were going to do.
And I was totally against the Airstream. It was too small, there were no slide outs, and I honestly wanted nothing to do with it. My grandparents had one, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It took them a couple of months to get me out to the dealership in Kyle.
Yeah, and I, on the other hand, was like, I like the idea of it. I like the Airstreams. I like the idea that we'd be able to tow it, and wanted to do that.
Quality.
And the quality. So I finally took it to the Airstream dealership, and we started looking around. And we started looking at like the 30-foot classics and stuff like that, and we kind of decided a range that we liked. And what were your first opinions on the Airstreams in general? The new ones. These are new. Like, we were looking at like
brand
2018.
New. The quality was just, I can't even explain the quality. It's such a huge difference from the Class A to an Airstream, and that's what Airstream's known for.
Yeah.
And like he said, we looked at all of them, like from the 25-footer to the 35-footer, and each like branch, the International, we looked at the Tommy Bahama,
the Signature,
the Clouds. Anyways, we looked at all of them.
Yep.
And they were all really nice, good quality, and I kind of fell in love, and I decided an Airstream is absolutely the best solution for us, because it's got enough space, but it's easier to move than a Class A. Class A, you have to worry about the engine and make sure everything's running smoothly. It's another vehicle, and the Airstream is just something you haul, and it's always ready.
And that's another thing I want to bring up. So one of the big factors we looked at was depreciation, and all of these depreciate a lot. But the Class A's, like she mentioned, it has an engine with it, and looking at like a 10-year-old Class A and what it's worth versus a 10-year-old Airstream and what it's worth, the difference is just ridiculously huge. The Airstreams just hold their value a lot better, and they're just kind of a timeless piece, whereas the Class A's, you know, unless you're willing to really keep it, then it kind of depreciates more, and you're kind of just ended up with something that may not be worth very much at the end.
And with the Class A, if you make it a garage queen, obviously it's going to hold its value a lot better, but we plan on living out of it and taking it everywhere, so it's going to be lived in, and it's going to have some wears, because, you know, we have 3 dogs. It's us.
Yeah.
So the depreciation is going to be even more, because it's our house, not just something we take out once a quarter or, you know, once a year.
So that's what led us to the Airstream as well. So we were pretty set on getting a new Airstream. I don't know if you guys have looked at new Airstream prices, but they range basically from $100,000 to $150,000 depending on the model and the size. Now, with RVs and what like, it looks like you can get pretty much a good discount on them, like starting off, because they always price high. I don't know if that's true for Airstream. We've never bought an RV, so I couldn't really tell you. But that's kind of what we were looking at. We're like, okay, cool. If we can get a 20-year loan on it, it'll spread out enough that it'll still be way less than a house payment. We'll still be paying a lot less just in the grand scheme of things, and that's one of the things we really wanted to do, just lower our bills considerably with this, because we won't have to pay property taxes and stuff like that. So that was our original plan, and we were set on that.
Yeah, and for me, you know, I was looking at a 33-foot RV with, you know, a fireplace and super nice, and we go to the Airstream place, and I'm like, we have to get the 30-foot Classic. That's as small as I will go. There's no slide outs. It has to be the 30-foot Classic. And I recently changed my mind to a 27 to 28 foot.
To follow the progression, so we were really set on getting a new one, and we were just thinking about it more and more, and we were deciding, you know, okay, well, does that really put us where we want to be financially, like buying a big loan or basically getting another mortgage on this? Shay was really leaning towards buying an older one and us renovating it, and I'm a little bit more hesitant just because you know, it's a big project. But I mean, we're very capable of doing stuff like this. We do a lot of vehicle builds, and you know, I work for a home builder, so it kind of like, you know, the experience is there. We know what we're doing in that aspect, and it's not too much of an undertaking.
We know we can do it. It's just it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's not like we're not used to projects around here. So we've basically decided on renovating a vintage Airstream, and we're gonna live out of that. So that's where we're at now, and that's what we wanted to relay to you. We were gonna wait to explain that until we sold the home, but with the idea of buying a vintage Airstream, we've shifted on that as well, because our original plan was sell the home,
Get an apartment.
Get an apartment, and then buy the Airstream once everything
that was ready
fell
to
off.
go. Yeah.
So with our change of plans, we want to announce this a little bit more because we want to be super transparent with this in case it helps anybody else who's in the same position and they want to do it. Or if you're like us and you don't know very much, we're really hoping that a lot of people will watch this and give us more resources and help us steer us in the right direction if we're doing something wrong, which would be really great because we're trying to save as much time as money as possible.
And we decided we want to get the Airstream before we leave the house, because if we get the Airstream while we live in the house, the garage is right there. We have every single power tool we're gonna need.
Yeah.
So everything is right there for us to use, versus if the house sells tomorrow, we have to move to an apartment, live in an apartment, travel to a storage unit to work on it, bring all the tools, and it would just be a mess. So the sooner we get it, the sooner we can start working on it and have more easier availability to our tools and resources.
Yep. So here's what we're looking for. Like I said, we're at square zero because we want to help out as many people as possible. We want to do this. We want to document the whole thing, costs and everything for everybody to kind of just give people a good idea of it. We are looking for, our budget is $5,000 to buy the vintage Airstream. We want something that's either already been gutted or maybe has everything in it and stuff that we could use. But Shay really wants one that's already been gutted so we can see everything.
Make sure the floor is good. Make sure it's not, like we were watching a recent video and they finally got to rip everything out and the floor was just rotting away.
Yep.
So if we can prevent stuff like that, extra costs like that, that's ideal for me, because I don't plan on keeping anything, not the refrigerator, the stove, cushions, nothing.
Wanted to have the exterior shell, obviously. Wanted to have the interior shell because I don't want to be trying to form all that again. I wanted to have all the windows and the door, and from there I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I want it to be a 1970s. I think that 70s era is going to be perfect, and we're looking for either a 27-foot Overlander or a 29-foot Ambassador.
And we want the door to be in the back, not the front.
Yep, exactly. So a front bedroom rear door or something similar to that where the door is in the back. And then we also wanted to have a 5-inch frame. From there, I think pretty much everything else we can work on. We do plan on renovating and building the interior completely ourselves. So we have some ideas and some floor plans of what we want to do. We just need to get the Airstream at this point and figure out the configuration of it. But that's where we're at. So if
there's not a huge selection of vintage Airstreams like that in Texas, there's a few, but they're not really what we're looking for. So it's going to be an adventure, and obviously we'll bring you along for everything.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the whole experience of it all and the progression of it. So we're hoping, and our timeline is we want to have the Airstream before the end of May. So between now and May, we're going to be basically looking everywhere we can to try and find the right one, and hopefully get steered towards it and be able to start building, because that's our goal, to start building. Because once it gets summertime, you're going to be in there and you're going to be cooking. It's going to be really, really hot too. So, and like we mentioned, we want to do it while we still have the house. So we'll store it during the weekdays. We'll bring it to the house on the weekends, work on it as much as possible, take it back. Most storage places are pretty close to our place anyways, so it's not too far. It'd still be better than working at the storage place.
Yeah.
And then
which is probably going to end up happening regardless, but hopefully it'll be in the finishing phases and it won't be building a bed or building the dinette area. You know, hopefully it'll be, oh, let's put the backsplash in, or let's, you know, anyways.
Yeah. And we're very realistic in the fact that we've done a bunch of builds. We know it's going to cost more than we plan on it costing. We know it's going to take more time than we plan on it taking. So we're not going in this unrealistically. We have a really good understanding of how builds work, and we're going to treat this the exact same. So bringing our vehicle builds and home building skills together, I think that's really going to help us out a lot.
And I build furniture.
Yeah.
So.
As you saw the table that I accidentally broke. But anyways, that's kind of what we wanted to share with you guys, and we're going to document it all. And so like every week, I think we're going to try and just do a weekly update on what we found, what we've looked at, just new thoughts that we've come up with, or questions that we had that hopefully people can help us answer. And that's kind of where we're at. So we're really looking forward to just the progress of it, the adventure of it, and the build, and just the process. I mean, hell, you know, we could be going about this all wrong, and hopefully, you know, maybe someone will see that or show us the right way, or, you know, we learn along the way. But we're really interested to see how it works. We're not looking to spend like 60 grand on like some ridiculously overbuilt budget. A, because we don't have it, and B, because that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to have a good idea of it and just figure out what we want to do.
Morning.
How's it going?
Morning.
anyways, like we mentioned, we're going to do weekly updates for you guys. Our channel is still going to be the same concept and stuff.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Our channel is not changing. Our channel is not changing. We're keeping the 4Runner. We're keeping the MJ.
Yep.
Everything's staying. We're just changing our house. So
yeah,
the
our
channel,
living situation, yep.
Yeah, the channel is not changing. We're just adding
a new part of our
build.
lives to you guys with us, basically. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're just trying to share a little different adventure and just the style. So you might see our channel start growing more as we try and just be more open and just more influential as far as what we're talking about and the
just
details.
be more transparent with you guys on what's going on.
Yeah, and we thought it'd be kind of fun to be able to film this too. So if you're here for the adventure, I appreciate it. Subscribe, check us out. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just let us know. It's not a big deal. We get a lot of weird comments, so we just really wanted to grow in this format, and this is going to be a really big year for us and something we wanted to add to the channel as well. So thank you everyone who's been with us for as long as you have been. We really appreciate it. I love talking to you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been around for the long haul. I'm just really looking forward to this and just experiencing it and bringing it along for the ride.
I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' feedback on this. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, guys.
Oh, one thing I always forgot to mention. That was another big reason for the excursion. It was to help tow not only the MJ and the 4Runner if we wanted to, but tow this Airstream.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was looking for something specifically like that. Something that was paid off and something that could be capable to do something like this. And I did forget to mention that part.
And that's why we got it, but we didn't want to mention it in case. Not in case, but... Morning!
Morning. Oh, in case it didn't work out. So...
Yeah, and so we've decided to go ahead and move forward with this, so we figured we're
There
going to
you
go
go.
ahead and tell you.
And that was a big thing for the excursion.
Yeah.
So
That was basically the main purpose.
yeah, I
of
forgot to
buying
mention
it.
that as well. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll. I'm looking forward to your feedback.
I'm
hungry.
excited. I'm so excited.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Birds flying high.
What's that?
Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. Birds flying high.
Look at this little guy.
So little.
This thing will tear you up.